After a while, I realized I enjoyed baking and wanted to be a professional baker someday. I started watching YouTube videos and practicing what I had learned. I was so eager to share my baked goods with everyone that I called mom and told her I wanted to bake some cupcakes for her as a birthday gift. I told her that I had been learning and practicing for months. Mom seemed delighted and said she would ask her driver to bring me to her during the weekend. I was so happy that I put so much care into baking her some cupcakes and cookies. Her boyfriend wasn't around, so it was just the two of us, mother and daughter. I was delighted. We had lunch together in her house, and she showed me videos of my identical half-sisters. The girls were in the house, but she wouldn't let me see them. She said she didn't let them have much contact with people who weren't family members. I didn't point out to her that I was family and I was her blood, too. Mom took the gifts I brought for her into her kitchen, promising to eat them later. Later that afternoon, I went to use the bathroom and felt thirsty, so I went to the kitchen to have a drink of water and found Mom's housekeeper eating the cupcakes. She said Mom asked her to throw them away, but she didn't have the heart to because she knew I baked them. I didn't ask Mom anything. I returned to the living room and told her I wanted to leave. I didn't wait for her to ring her driver to drop me home. I walked to the bus stop and took a bus home. I didn't talk to Mom until 3 years later when she called to tell me she was getting married to her boyfriend and wanted me to be her flower girl. My brother, Todd, would be the ring bearer while Sam would play another part in the wedding. Mom told me the wedding was a day before my birthday, but she and her boyfriend had discussed it and had decided not to leave for their honeymoon right away. They would leave for their honeymoon the day after my birthday. She called Dad as well and told him not to make any plans for my birthday because she would handle it. She promised me a birthday dress, a laptop, and a cake. She said I could invite my friends too. Dad asked if she was certain, because of how she treated me in the past. Mom swore she would throw me the best birthday party I'd ever had. I went to see her, and she showed me her engagement ring. She also let me see my sisters for the first time in person. They were so adorable that I couldn't even be mad at them. I spent a few minutes with them before their nanny led them back to their room. I started visiting Mom again and spent the night at her place several times. Although Mom promised to throw me a birthday party, she didn't say anything about it anymore. Whenever I brought it up, she would tell me she had everything under control. A few days before the wedding, Mom and the wedding planner were reviewing the details for the wedding and I reminded her that we hadn't found a dress for me. I was going to be the flower girl and I didn't have anything good to wear to the wedding. Mom waved me off and said we would discuss it later. The next day, I reminded her again, and she told me she had something to tell me that would break my heart. She said she knew I was a big girl and would be fine. She told me that her boyfriend, Derek, wanted their triplet daughters to be the flower girls. She said the girls were young, beautiful, and would look better on a magazine cover. She said a local wedding magazine was covering the event. Then she reached for my hands and said she would no longer be able to throw me a birthday party because she and Derek had decided to leave for their honeymoon immediately. I told her I didn't mind not having a party or being the flower girl. Then she dropped another bombshell on me. She said I couldn't attend the wedding because I looked like Dad and Derek didn't like him. She said his family and friends would be present, and she didn't want anyone joking about me not looking like her. Then she chuckled and looked at me, expecting me to agree with her. I was heartbroken. I broke down in tears and started screaming at her. I told Mom it wasn't my fault that I didn't look like her. Derek came in to find out what was happening, and Mom started crying. Derek asked me to get my things and leave and never return. He said he didn't like me because I looked like my dad, and Mom was embarrassed to have a daughter like me. He said I should be grateful that Mom didn't completely cut me out of her life when she left my dad. I got my things and told him he would never see me in his home again. I told my brothers I was leaving, and that Mom uninvited me to her wedding because she thought I was an embarrassment. My brothers decided to leave with me, but Mom told them they would never be welcome in her home again if they went with me. I called Dad, and he came to pick us up.